Hey everyone, it's been a minute. Oh, how you doing? Good, good. Want to do something dumb? Let's do it. I've been seeing a lot of videos lately where people are trying to recreate AI generated food using food. A lot of that stuff looks like resin to me, so I thought it would be fun to jump in and try to do it with resin. But also, I thought it would be fun to try to make it look real. We'll do two. One will make it look real and the other will make it look fake. I have to start by taking a mold of a real donut though. So what I need to do is seal it on the bottom so it won't seep through because otherwise I'll have to end up cutting it. Okay, let's try this type bond. It says it sets up in 15 minutes, so I'll go ahead. The only thing about it is that it says that the surface needs to be clean and dry. It's gonna be neither clean nor dry, but the main thing is that we're trying to prevent silicone from seeping underneath the donut. So as long as we do that, I think we'll be okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm doing. If you go look up the maker's log, Ben and Nicole, they do this a lot. And they do it with UV resin, which I think is cool for them that that works. I've always had problems if I put UV resin into one of my master casts. So I'm just gonna, this poor donut, I feel bad. I'm wasting the donut. I know, I'm sorry. Donut lovers out there, don't come for me. I've been wanting to do this project and I kept kind of putting it off. And finally, I got the donut, and then now I got a fire under my ass to do it because I don't want the donut to go moldy. And yes, I could have, spent $10 and bought a donut mold, but I'd rather just use $10 worth of silicone and make a donut mold. Okay, well, here goes nothing. Imagine if I go just kind of put it somewhere that's warm-ish, it would set up a little bit quicker, but we don't want it to melt. So I think I'm just going to leave her here for the 15 minutes. We'll come back and check. Hopefully it'll be enough to lock it all in there. Make sure there we go. You just stay there. We'll be back. Okay. All right, we're back. While I was off camera, I took a little bit of the Mod Podge and sealed it. I was kind of on the fence about that one, but the AI warned me that the silicone might seep into the pores of the donut and then get stuck. I just went ahead and sealed it. Hopefully, it doesn't cause an issue. I have a little bit of silicone mixed up here. It's just 1 to 1. Some off-brand. I'll link it below. It's silicone. This probably isn't going to be enough. It's 8 ounces. Probably have to get some more or get some little plugs to bring the volume up. If you've ever made molds, you probably have lots of mold scraps. Okay, I've got some silicone from failed molds past. I'm just gonna try to just offset the volume a little bit so that when I top that up, it doesn't take quite as much. It's so wasteful. I would have been better off using something round, but then the challenge is to find something that's kind of the perfect size. Easier said than done. Making a mold in general is easier said than done. But if you've ever tried to make a mold in the past, you've probably had a few fails. This comes in handy for this kind of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna mix up a little bit more. We'll come back. All right. So, can we make it look real? Well, we could try. I don't know why you would want such a thing. Maybe you just love donuts. So, I'm gonna start with the pink layer, and in hindsight, I probably should have uh, taken a mold of a donut that didn't have sprinkles on it because I'm gonna have to come back and paint those on because they're just gonna be whatever color our frosting is. So let's start with the top layer, the icing layer, and we'll go from there. I just have some some 1-to-1. I'll put what I'm using up on the screen there. Start with just a little bit of white pigment dye. Just want to get this a little bit more opaque before I color it. And for the pink, I'm just going to use some acrylic paint. You have to be careful when you do this. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Just have to tread lightly. Instead of messing with colors, that color's kind of already dialed in to be the perfect frosting pink, although it is a little shimmery. I don't know if I love that. I really dislike messing with pink ink because it tends to go orange when the resin heats it up. Here's where I'm potentially exceeding, the recommended ratios. You should always be mindful of that whenever you purchase any given brand of resin. That should be good. So I'm just gonna fill up to the frosting line. There's one little weird spot, which I don't know if I can show you. It's basically right here where the frosting dripped down onto the donuts. I'm gonna have to end up fiddling with it when it starts to cure up to get it to cover that weird spot. But that's also sort of the point at which I know the icing stops. So I will just carefully pour it in here. Let me bring it down. We're gonna pour it in there until we hit that point. All right, that should do it. I'm gonna let it cure and we'll come back and do the donut layer. Okay, here's where we lost the audio to this portion of the video, so I'm gonna try to nutshell what was a painfully long process. I'm starting off by separating some resin because I want to make some white and keep it aside so that I can pour it on first. I'm trying to get that little line that you see on a donut. You got like the brown outside and then you get that little line on the seam. And for the donut color, I want to start with a white base and then just experiment with different pigments to try to get us there. I don't know if I quite do get us there, spoiler, but give it the old college try. From there, I added this coffee color, which in hindsight, I probably could have used actual coffee. It probably would have been too dark, but it may not have been. That wasn't quite what I was looking for. It looks more gray than it does golden brown. So I thought I would add some orange. This ended up looking very mustardy to me. Not quite donut colored. Here's where I added some. Was it more of the coffee? Yeah, I think it was. I'm sorry. I think it was more of the coffee. Yeah. More orange. No, it looks like we're at about like a baby poop brownish. Color theory people, feel free to chime in and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Here's where I thought I would come in with a little bit of like rose red, which is kind of the closest I had to red. I rearranged my craft room recently and I can't find anything now. That didn't really do much. Yeah, that's still looking kind of foul. That's more white. Some more coffee, I think. Yeah. Now it's starting to turn green. But when you start mixing a bunch of colors together, you have two probable outcomes. One is brown, one is green. I was hoping we'd get more brown than green, but it is what it is. So I'm going to start by putting on that white layer. And my hopes here is that White will do what white does, which is sink and give you that little line, little seam that you see on the donut. You know what I'm talking about. Thought for one last good measure, I could toss in a little more white, although I don't think it made much of a difference. We're just gonna have to go for it. We've hit our pigment maximus. Bring you down for the poopy money shot. As you can see, I don't have enough resin, so what I'm going to do is grab my rocks and throw them in there. Since this resin's opaque, you won't see it. The thing about using the rocks is that it'll bring the level up, but it'll also add some weight to the piece. Resin pieces, they look like glass, but they feel like plastic. So anyway, I'm just going to let it cure up. We'll leave it. We'll come back. All right. All right. Let's get that bad boy out of there. I had a peek at it and I asked my daughter, does that look like a donut? And she's like, no, that's not the color of a donut. Stuck on the little nub. Come out of there. I hate unmolding shit on camera. It's so dumb. Like, why do people like watching this? I don't like watching it. Like, I'm constantly just like this. I could probably spray some alcohol in it, but it's just like really expensive silicone. I don't want to look it up. Okay. There we go. But actually, that's actually pretty good. My daughter's, I don't know what she's wrong, but obviously the sprinkles are a problem. So I'm gonna just grab my little paint pen, give them some color.
One eternity later.
All right, there we go. That took way longer than it needed to. I thought about like putting a clear coat over it, and I might still do that, but I'm probably gonna use like a matte finish because that's how the donuts are. They're not super shiny. That's pretty cute. Are you fooled? Does it look like a real donut? It does this way, but that way is a little sketch, but doesn't matter. I fooled my nephew with this. He's still mad at me. I owe him a donut. Anyway, let's do a fake one. All right. Okay, let's see if we can make it look fake. Make it look real fake. I made this one. It's cool, but it's not quite what it was after. It's got a whole color shift thing going on. It's red like that, and it's orange like that, but it kind of got that two-tone thing. I don't like that. I could probably paint it, but I'll just give it another go. God knows I need yet another fake ass donut. Oh, I just have some clear resin here and some like ghost flakes, I guess, aurora flakes. I don't know what you want to call them. They call them, I think, chroma flakes, but they don't sell them anymore. So, yeah, I can't tell you where to get them because I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and mix those in here. We're gonna get a clear layer of this down, and then I'm probably gonna come behind it with something dark to make these pop off because they got that color shifting thing going on. So, start by just popping this in here. What is that doing? Get out of there. And then the sprinkles, I'll either just leave it or just color them one color because nobody needs to be spending a half an hour coloring sprinkles. This got me to thinking about all the different types of food you could create to make it look like a donut, like pizza or something. And if you're a foodie, you can use the same technique to make molds if you use food safe silicone. These drips are a problem. These right here, because resin self levels. Obviously, if you try to push the resin up to fill those spaces, it just runs right back down. So I'm probably gonna grab a little bit of UV resin, mix it with some of those sparkles, and just quick set that part. Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to be coming in here pushing it back up over and over. Okay, that should be good. We're gonna leave it to cure. We'll come back and we'll do the bottom layer. I don't know how we're gonna make it look, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Okay. I've been thinking about what I want to do to this. I could just pour clear in it and make it look like a glass sparkly donut, but I actually want to put some swirls in there with some UV, come behind it with some other pigment, kind of try to make it look like a galaxy. Maybe. I don't know. That's what we're doing. So I got some UV resin here. It's kind of thick. It'll hold its shape a little bit better. Okay, that's cured, I think. So for this, I want to use a combination of my villainous flakes and some other flakes that I just are unbranded. Whoa, that's too much. Don't do that. Sometimes it's easier just to use your finger. I don't want to use this one, which is like just a silver flake. Hopefully, it'll just sit there and look starry in the galaxy. That's the plan, anyway. I'm gonna mix up some resin, chuck that on there. We'll be back. All right. Okay, so for this, I want to add a little bit of pigment and a little bit of glow in the dark powder. Might as well, right? It's a galaxy after all. The thing with glow in the dark stuff is that you have to charge it, right? And unless you're leaving it in the sun like all day long, it doesn't really hold its charge. So by the time nighttime rolls around, you don't really see it that much unless you super duper concentrate the colors. This is just some off brand of glow powder. I think like when people start with resin, they think that they need the exact same products to get similar effects that they see in the videos. That's just not the case. Just use what you got. You can even get like little glow in the dark stars and chuck those in there. I don't know if that's gonna glow very much. One way to find out is to charge it up. Let's see. It's not glowing at all. So let's put some more. Let's see if we got some glow. I'm gonna put it under my desk to see if it's glowing. All right. It is. You want to see? You want to see? I'd say that glows pretty good. All right, let's do it. Lights on. There goes nothing. All right, I'm gonna let that cure. We'll come back, see how it turns out. All right, and we're back. And while I was off camera, I went outside and gave that a coat of spray paint. As I've mentioned before, when you're using any kind of color shifty stuff, put black behind it helps Helps to get those colors to pop off. Okay, we're not doing this again. BRB. Okay, I didn't look at it. We'll look at it together. Ready? Wowza. You know, that's exactly what I wanted. I was kind of hoping the swirlies would show up a little bit more, but it's okay. That's really, really cool. You love it? Do you hate it? It's kind of weird. That got weird. But it's okay. It's still cool. It'll make a cool paperweight or something like that. So just for funsies, I told the AI to generate a video of what it thinks my process was. that's that's something. I mean, it did a pretty faithful representation of my final piece, but that's certainly not how we got there. If you actually watched how it was made, you'd know. But you probably just fast forwarded to the end, didn't you? I see you. I think it's impressive, but it's also a little alarming. But I guess it's just the world we're living in now. It's a real fine line between using an AI to assist you versus having one assume your identity. So yeah, that ought to wrap it. We made one that looks real, and we made two that look real fake. Which one's your favorite? Let me know down below. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, all that goofy stuff. You know what to do. If you got this far into the video, as always, I appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something. Hope you tried something. Till next time, folks. Bye.